Well, this next segment here has really generated a lot of interest in town because with the real estate market being in such sad shape here in San Diego, everybody is trying to figure out how in the world they're going to survive this. And real estate expert Bryan Garrity has more answers than anybody else I know right now. That's because he does his homework, and he really knows what he's talking about here. So let's ask Big Daddy today and ask folks questions again here. Let me just start right off with the very first one here. This person writes in and says, look, we make plenty of money. My husband and I make plenty of money. We're making our mortgage payment. However, we're $200,000 upside down in our home right now. Are we a good candidate for a short sale? What do you think?
Well, it's a tricky one.
It is tricky, isn't it? That's from Jenny, by the way, in North Park.
So is being $200,000 upside down a hardship? I mean, it's actually not what the bank's looking at in terms of a hardship. They're looking at your personal obligations. So if you're able to meet your monthly mortgage obligation and you have enough income in the household to pay it, I mean, the banks are going to be of the philosophy that you're not a qualified short sale candidate. But there's all kinds of things that happen, like strategic defaults. Have you heard of those? It's where people actually, they do make enough money, but they're making a business decision to walk away from their house.
Oh, okay.
And that's something that the banks do look at. And, you know, it's just, I mean, you're $200,000 or $300,000 upside down in your house. You're 45 years old. I mean, you want to use your house as kind of a business part of your business portfolio, your retirement portfolio. It's like, how do you get right with that? So there's a lot of people that are in that circumstance that have short sold and that maybe do have income. It's very, very, very individual, and you'd be surprised when you sit down the people that think they're actually making it by the time you take out child care and all their other expenses and they have $100 left over at the end of the month. I mean, to me, that's a hardship.
Well, again, folks, this is why I want to emphasize that you really need to call Bryan Garrity and ask him your individual questions. These questions that we select, they kind of speak to general categories and areas and so forth, but hopefully this will pique some questions that you might have. And give Bryan a call and get these things answered individually. You go ahead and call now if you like, and leave a message there, and Bryan will get back to you. Just very quickly, just give them some general idea of what you want to talk about, and he'll be in the right frame of mind when he calls you back to start to sort out your individual situation. But it is, again, as you point out, very individual. All right, this next person here says, well, how long does the short sale process generally take? And
what does it involve?
What does it involve? Well, okay, that's from
a
Ted in
loaded
San
question.
Diego.
Yeah, the short sale process could take anywhere from submission 2 weeks to 6 months. You would never have heard of a short sale taking 2 weeks a year or two ago. Some of the banks, Bank of America, Wachovia, they've really gotten on track and are looking to help the homeowners and get things done. There's other banks like Chase that you'll submit a short sale and it'll be 5 months later before you get a response. And when you do, keeping the same buyer in, et cetera, becomes problematic. And I'm not knocking on them specifically.
Sure.
I'm just saying my experience with them has been this. Sometimes you'll get something into Chase. They had a division EMC, which Chase has absorbed. That division seems to roll really well and really good. Then you've got the WAMU absorbed Chase from when WAMU was owning the loans. When you have a short sale in that division, it seems to go a little longer. So everything's very specific to the lender, number one. What does the process entail? It depends on your individual circumstances, but I would say now more than time's ticking. So there's things that are expiring, there's things that are changing, there's guidelines coming up for review, tax-wise, et cetera. I mean, people should really, if you've been on the fence for the last year, trying to get the loan modification for the last 2 or 3 years, come into our office. I want to sit down and really sit with the people and go over everything. I'm finding that to be the best for everybody.
And again, folks, I cannot emphasize this enough. The maze that's out there in real estate right now, whether you're buying, selling, short sale, it doesn't really matter what the process is. You really need somebody on your side that can look ahead, keep you out of the minefield, and that can help you navigate through this thing as quickly as possible. So give Bryan Garrity a call and let him begin to sort this stuff out for you with his expertise. Now, this last one here, I love this one. My husband and I had an offer on a short sale. The agent was listing, and the buyer's agent, and their offer was $20K less than ours. Is this allowed? Okay, I guess the bottom line here, they waited for several months thinking that they had an offer in on a short sale. They lost the deal. Somebody else bought the house, but for $20,000 less than what they were offering.
Yeah.
Is this allowed?
Well, I mean, is it allowed? It's like it's not very much policed or patrolled. I mean, the agent submits the offer to the bank reviews the offer, the bank's relying on the agent to do the right thing and submit the offer that they've got at market. You'll have a lot of agents that will pull tricks, that will, they act like ding-dongs. They get, and this is the ding-dong award for the agent. I'm sorry, because this really makes me mad. You put 6 months of your time waiting, only to find out at the end of 6 months they've accepted another offer. The deal goes to close, and you find out it's $20,000 less than your offer, from what I'm getting from this question.
Right.
And then it's the same agent had both sides. So they represented the listing side and the buyer side. I'm not saying that that's wrong, per se, that you could represent both sides. I mean, it's up to you if that's what floats your boat as an agent. How you represent both people equally and get that equal attention, I don't know.
Well, and I think it raises some eyebrows here when you say, well, wait a second, why would somebody take $20,000 less?
Agreed. It's like the agent was only focused on the commission and not worried about the bigger picture, which is really stinky, actually, for the people that were waiting, and also for the seller, who, if those are refinance loans or what they call recourse loans, they could have exposure so every dollar counts. So the more you get, the less goes the deficiency, the more you're in your seller's favor. You got to, I mean, it's complex, and got to get the people, need to come in, and we need to talk about it.
So whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether your circumstances are extraordinary or just run-of-the-mill, you're just ready to sell your house, Bryan Garrity is the guy that you want on your team here.
That's right.
Bryan, the phone lines are open. Folks can give a call. They can make an appointment right now.
Yes.
But you really like to see people in the office. You like
we do.
To come in and see them face
They come in. It doesn't matter. We're not going to charge them. We'll sit down as long as we need to. We'll go over everything. Sometimes we give people information that, they leave in tears. I feel terrible, but it's the reality.
But it's real.
I'm not going to hide it. And, other times we get really good, solid plans and people are happy. Really quick, did you see now the government's talking about opening the refinance cap for people that are underwater, that are on time, that have a Freddie or Fannie owned mortgage? I only want to touch on it super quick because it's in the front page of the papers today. So if you have a Freddie owned or a Fannie owned mortgage, the government's going to lift the cap. They were going to let you do 125% refi. Now they're saying they're going to let you do unlimited refi. Don't be fooled, folks. Only 894,000 people were helped in this last go-around for the last couple of years.
Let
Put those
Bryan
numbers
Garrity
in your
help
head. Yeah.
Get in and see Bryan
If you
Garrity.
see it, yeah, I just want to get that out there.
All right.
All right, my friend.
Ask Big Daddy.
That's here.
Do it again
We'll
next
do it
week.
again next week.
All right, for more information, you go to san diego6.com and you click on San Diego Living.